Welcome to Headlines in Bed. Thank you for joining me. Today is Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. Um, get comfortable, grab a cup of tea, your coffee, and let's get started with today's headlines on the Wall Street Journal. Boeing reports record annual loss. The aerospace giant took a big financial hit on its new 777X jetliner, reflecting the pandemic's worsening toll on the company. AT&T posts losses on DirecTV charge. Tesla expected to record full-year profit. Apple may deliver 100 billion quarter. I couldn't even say it. Apple may deliver 100 billion quarter. I remember when my former employer was boasting several years ago about having a 20 billion year. This is amazing. Stocks decline with the tech earnings in focus. US share benchmarks fell amid concerns about COVID-19 vaccine distribution and as investors awaited a bumper day of earnings, including from Tesla, Apple, and Facebook. GameStop share price. It's wow. In 2 weeks is more than triple its price. GameStop short squeeze shows an ugly side of the investing world. Short sellers are thick-skinned, but the nasty comments, insults, and threats level at them feel like political fights, not investing differences. GameStop's Reddit and options fuel stock rally. Streetwise, a bubble in its purest form. Other Reddit hits, online traders fuel unlikely stocks. Heard on the street, a stock surge, just a game for now. I don't get it. People are investing on posts made on platforms like Reddit, which are completely, which are published without fact checking. Enough said. Olympic official seeks Biden's help to save Tokyo Games. Vaccines mean an end to isolation at retirement home. The middle seat at the best and worst U.S. airlines of 2020. It'll be interesting to see who made the list. It's time for better masks in sports. Capital account. Shape-shifting virus threatens cycles of illness, lockdowns. More virulent and potentially deadlier variants of COVID-19, first identified in Britain, South Africa, and Brazil, are spreading just as the rollout of vaccines has raised hopes for a broad-based economic recovery. How to get a COVID-19 vaccine, a state-by-state guide. Latest updates, Europe's vaccine efforts slow. A WSJ News exclusive, and plans major revamp in response to Chinese pressure. Jack Ma's Ant Group plans to turn itself into a financial holding company overseen by China's central bank, responding to pressure to fall fully in line with financial regulations. How Jack Ma got into trouble. What to expect from the jobs market in 2021. Eric Morat explains how many economists think that 2021 could be a record-setting year for job growth. Exxon planning board, other changes amid activist pressure. The old giant is discussing adding one or more new directors to the board and stepping up sustainability investments. Biden, Kerry to roll out climate-focused initiatives. The president will sign executive orders to suspend new oil and gas leases on federal land and commit the government to new conservation and social justice initiatives. Biden to rescind Trump curves on asylum. Biden's hands-off impeachment approach. 200 lemons, 30 bananas. Online shoppers accidentally buy too much. Oh, that'll be funny to read. Um, and the economy, the Fed likely to keep interest rates near zero as economy stumbles. Fed officials are likely to acknowledge recent signs of economic weakening, but keep policy on hold, choosing to wait and see if business activity picks up. Treasury demands quells rising rate fears. Treasury demand quells rising rate fears for now. Fiat Chrysler reaches Department of Justice settlement over union corruption. Facebook's ad machine to power growth, antitrust issues in focus. Blackstone on the markets. Blackstone earnings rise with market. JP Morgan to launch UK digital consumer bank. Biden's candidate for the SEE chairman is expected to be tough. Africa without vaccines grapples with deadlier COVID surge. Millennials embrace prenups, but through a different lens. Their agreements cover the new economic and social landscape, including rising student debt, social media use, and embryo ownership. Wow. 15 personal finance lessons we can all learn from the year of COVID-19, a new reason investors should try to time the stock market. Proud Boys were key instigators in riot. And we will thank the Wall Street Journal, and we will move on to the New York Times. Over in the New York Times, Biden will sign orders focused on climate change. President Biden's orders will elevate climate change at every level of the federal government and will include a pause on fossil fuel leasing. The administration is building its staff and tackling its agenda while the Senate weighs punishing a departed president. Here's the latest in politics. I wonder how anyone can apply for a job in the Biden administration. Coronavirus updates. Biden's key virus advisors are holding their first joint public briefing. The Biden administration nears a deal for enough shots to vaccinate 3 million Americans by the end of the summer. Economic updates. GameStop stock continues to soar as small traders team up against big institutions. Stocks slide ahead of the latest Fed decision and a wave of earnings reports. We already heard that. How armed protests are creating a new kind of politics. Americans are often ignoring the implication of the country's enormous arsenal of privately owned military-style weapons. Did January 6 change that? Over to the opinion bar. Thomas Friedman, made in the US. A. Socialism for the rich, capitalism for the rest. Once we take care of the pandemic, we need to sort this out. Hear, hear. We spoke to 430 former immigrants. This is what they share. Armored border agents threw sandwiches on the ground and told us to leave and never come back. How Governor Kristi Noem rebranded her failures as freedom. Stuart A. Thompson, 3 weeks inside a pro-Trump QAnon chat room. Bert Newborn and Erwin Chemerinsky. Make the filibuster difficult again. Sylvia Fauti. No more lies. My grandfather was a Nazi. That's a declaration. Robert Grenier. How to defeat America's homegrown insurgency. It's early in the morning, folks. Majid Tahak Ravanchi. Biden wants to return to the Iran deal. He can start here. Thank you, Dr. Fauci. Can we start making celebrities out of public servants and just thank them? Well, I guess that's what you're doing. Thank you, Dr. Fauci. Alice Liu Cullinhan and Iko Iwasaki. The false rumors about vaccines that are scaring women. He was convicted in a police officer's murder. Trump gave him clemency. Oh, wow. Jamie Davison was in prison for 28 years for one of New York's most notorious crimes. His connections to former President Trump appear to have set him free. My Pillow is CEO Trump's conspiracy theories put company on the spot. Retailers have stopped carrying its products, though Mike Lindell, the founder and face of My Pillow, blamed cancel culture. What Jeffrey Epstein did to earn $158 million from Leon Black. Mr. Epstein specialized in pitching ways to minimize taxes, and not just to Mr. Black, the CEO of the private equity firm Apollo, who will resign this year. The Oscars are a mess. Let's make them messier. Noting nothing has been normal about the last year, including the movies. The Academy shouldn't try to pretend otherwise. Our film critic writes. The first Oscar ceremony lasted 50 minutes. What happened? How can the Oscars be more entertaining? Here are 5 suggestions from industry insiders. Aren't the Golden Globes this weekend? They are, right? Then how come they're talking about the Oscars and not the Golden Globes? On other news, a new bill could clean up the recycling in America as programs shutter and plastic use rises. A New York bill to get manufacturers to pick up the tab could offer a solution on our architecture critic rights. Okay, we're not going to read any paid content. Living year-round in a summer bungalow. Some former summer communities have been turned into a co-op that offer an affordable alternative to bigger homes in the area. Was this dinosaur more subaquatic killer or giant wading bird? A new study challenges the hypothesis that a Spinosaurus pursued its prey in the currents of prehistoric rivers. Wow, that's a beautiful looking animal. Oh wait, let's end with the best time of day to exercise. Men at risk of diabetes had greater blood sugar control and lost more belly fat when they exercise in the afternoon than in the morning. That'll be an interesting read. Yeah. And I will let you guys read the rest. Let's end our morning with, let's say, the LA Times. Okay, Los Angeles Times. The underground COVID economy. Businesses say they sidestep rules to survive. With strict limits on indoor commerce, some businesses bent or broke public health rules to serve their customers. Owners say they had little choice. Hey, as long as they are taking care of themselves and the people that they're bringing into their homes. Growing racial inequities in LA County vaccine rollout raise alarms. Essential workers and disability advocates fear being left out. Biden to reopen Obamacare markets to offer medical coverage during pandemic. Tensions rise between AstraZeneca, EU over COVID vaccine delivery. Biden to order sweeping actions to pause drilling and fight climate change. We already saw that. Mana from Haven. LA officials say Biden funding could get thousands of homeless off the street. Auschwitz survivor mark Holocaust Remembrance Day online amid pandemic. With Soul and One Night in Miami, Kemp Powers finally hits his artistic stride. I'm interested in watching Soul, not so much interested in One Night in Miami. And I think we will leave it at that. It's interesting. A lot of this section is old news. California Strawberry Festival canceled for second year in a row because of COVID-19. Well, thank you for joining me today. That is Headlines in Bed for Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. Have a good day. Join me tomorrow.